Brics condemned the increase of tariffs and attacks on Iran, but refrained from naming US President Donald Trump directly.
Some parts of Western Europe cool off after days of extreme heat, but weather authorities warn risk remain.
The Brics bloc of developing economies condemned the increase of tariffs and attacks on Iran, but refrained from naming US President Donald Trump directly at their summit in Brazil. The bloc issued a declaration in which they raised serious concerns about the rise of tariffs, which it said threatened to reduce global trade, disrupt global supply chains and introduce uncertainty. In their 31-page declaration, the group took aim at Israeli military actions in the Middle East, spared its founding member Russia from criticism and mentioned war-torn Ukraine only once.
Se a governança internacional não reflete a nova realidade multipolar do século XXI, cabe aos Brics contribuir para a sua atualização. Sua representatividade e diversidade o torna uma força capaz de promover a paz e de prevenir e mediar conflitos.
Despite Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva's push to spotlight issues such as artificial intelligence and climate change at the summit, it has been marked by the absence of several key leaders. This includes its two most powerful members, Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Poland reinstated border controls with Germany and Lithuania in response to similar measures imposed by Berlin. The Polish Interior Ministry said the checks were aimed at those involved in illegally smuggling migrants across the border. They are scheduled to last for a period of 30 days, but the Polish government has not ruled out extending them.
It is important, and let me add that neighbouring countries with temporary border controls coordinate closely with each other to limit the impact of these border controls to a minimum, including as regards smooth traffic flows. The Commission stands ready to facilitate cooperation and coordination as necessary, and the Schengen coordinator of the Commission is already in close contact at technical level with authorities of all Schengen member states concerned.
The EU legislation states that member states are allowed to introduce temporary internal border controls under certain conditions, such as in times of serious threat. Poland's decision comes after Germany first imposed controls on its borders in 2023 to combat human trafficking and curb irregular migration.
Relief from extreme heat began to reach areas of Western Europe during the weekend, bringing cooler temperatures and thunderstorms after days of record-breaking heat waves. Germany reported a maximum daytime temperature of 24 degrees Celsius on Sunday, while Spain and Italy also saw temperatures averaging around 27 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius. In Belgium and Luxembourg, buckets of rain fell as temperatures took a dip and clouds dominated the sky. The cool-off came as a big relief to many, as severe heat waves in southern Europe have caused temperatures to rise above 40 degrees Celsius. As the deadly heat wave moved east, meteorologists warned that the danger is, however, far from over. On Sunday, officials in Germany issued warnings of spreading forest fires on the border between Saxony and Brandenburg as firefighters battled flames that broke out last week. While in Portugal, authorities put two-thirds of the country on high alert for extreme heat and wildfires. According to the World Meteorological Organization, WMO, we will have to learn to live with more frequent and intense heat waves as a result of climate change.
Authorities said that the death toll had risen to 82 following flash floods in central Texas, which ripped apart the area and washed homes off of their foundations. Texas's governor said at least 41 people are confirmed to be missing. This includes 10 campers and a counselor from a Christian summer camp. He also warned that more heavy rainfall expected to last until Tuesday could lead to more dangerous conditions in the area. US President Donald Trump signed a major disaster declaration for the affected region, saying the families had endured an unimaginable tragedy. The Guadalupe River surged more than 8 meters in just 45 minutes on Friday, destroying homes, camps and vehicles. Texas authorities used helicopters, boats and drones to look for victims and missing people. Officials said over 850 people were rescued in the first 36 hours. Authorities face growing scrutiny over whether enough warnings were issued in an area vulnerable to flooding. They defended their actions, stating they had not expected such an intense downpour, which was equivalent to months' worth of rain for the area.
Young Polish director Korek Bojanowski has just been to Shanghai and Brussels, showcasing his directorial debut, Loss of Balance.
Ja opowiadam o grupie studentów, którzy przygotowują się do spektaklu dyplomowego. Na ich drodze stoi nowy reżyser i zaczyna się gra między nimi.
The filmmaker takes inspiration from the early cinema of Roman Polanski, which inspired his debut. The story follows a group of students at a Polish acting school and draws inspiration from real-life scandals that came to light in Polish film schools in 2020.
Ja chciałem ją na maksa zrozumieć. Takie metody, które polegały na łamaniu studentów, czyli na zmuszaniu ich do przekraczania swoich granic, bo uznawało się, że po prostu, że sztuka tego wymaga.
The director says he wanted to bring those stories to life.
Chciałem opowiedzieć film o wchodzeniu w dorosłość właśnie i o tym, ile musimy poświęcić siebie, żeby się realizować w tym, co kochamy.
In 2024, Bojanowski's debut film first started gaining traction. A major milestone for the Loss of Balance team was the film's selection as the closing screening for Poland's presidency of the European Union. Most recently, the world premiere took place in Shanghai, where Loss of Balance was honoured with the award for Best Screenplay.
Ja chciałem robić filmy od dziecka. Po prostu pamiętam pierwsze doświadczenia kinowe i jakie to robiło na mnie wrażenie.
Bojanowski hopes his next film will enter the shooting phase this year.
Jest to też film o wchodzeniu w dorosłość, ale jakby kolejny etap, bo mam poczucie, że utrata jest o tym, o zawodzie na świecie, że się zawodzimy na świecie, bo mam jakąś wizję świata, a to jest jakby drugi etap tego wchodzenia w dorosłość, kiedy nie zawodzimy się na świecie, tylko na sobie.
The director's second film is set to be a black comedy.
Accord is for couples and families who simply want less stress and more harmony in their day-to-day lives. And there's a really interesting sociology study showing that when families divide chores more fairly, each family member's stress levels reduce drastically, and communication improves. And this eventually leads to happier relationships and better relationships. Seen among Accord users that the gap has shrunk dramatically for the people using the app. So before Accord, these women were generally doing twice as much as men did, and with Accord the gap has been reduced by 60% if we look at the gender balance. So it's not like all the way there, but we see a huge improvement there, which is really fun for us.
Jag tycker att det har blivit en jättestor skillnad. Nu finns det tydliga uppgifter som är fördelade och alla har själv tagit ansvar för att de ska ta det här. Jag slipper ju vara projektledaren och vara den som initierar hela tiden. Kan du plocka i diskmaskinen? Kan du göra det? Kan du göra det? Så nu kan barnen och min sambo göra saker utan att jag behöver vara den som initierar det.
Parisians on Saturday jumped into the river Seine legally for the first time in more than 100 years. It came as public swimming was allowed in designated areas of the Seine, including 2 newly built wooden decks near the Eiffel Tower and Ile Saint-Louis in central Paris. Before sunrise, a municipal officer skimmed away the last few patches of algae with a fishnet. Soon after, a line of eager Parisians formed, towers in hand, waiting for their chance to jump in. The return to swimming follows a €1.4 billion cleanup project tied to last year's Olympics. Officials, including the mayor of Paris, now say the Seine meets European water quality standards on most days. Swimming in the Seine had been illegal since 1923, with a few exceptions due to pollution and risk posed by river navigation. Taking a dip outside bathing areas is still banned for safety reasons.